Pardon me, still have an itchy nose. Do that before we go live. So sorry. Here we go. Welcome to the TDC Today Show. My name is Sue Roskopf, and the Disability Channel, or TDC, is out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, showcasing abilities. TDC is committed to providing quality digital media production services, education, and employment programs by and for persons with disabilities and veterans. TDC offers digital media production, video production, post-production, social media, and podcast creation, production, and support. TDC offers education and employment programming, which includes digital media courses to persons with disabilities who are unemployed and underemployed. TDC also offers community partnerships. Through partnerships and sponsorships, community partners and organizations become ability champions by supporting media created by and for people with disabilities. We are your USA team. My name again is Sue Roskopf, and I am so happy to be bringing a crew in today. And first of all, I will be introducing our special guest for the evening. So happy to bring in Elaine Feigenbaum. She has been the Education Relief Inc. since 2004. As a single mom of a 15-year-old daughter with an individualized education program, or IEP, for executive functioning deficits, ADHD, and social anxiety, Elaine possesses a deep understanding of the challenges faced by families of children with unique needs. With over 2 decades of experience as an independent contractor in special education, Elaine has demonstrated exceptional versatility and expertise. She has served as an early intervention provider, diverse abilities educator for preschool and school-age children, advocate, parent trainer, teacher consultant, evaluator, and neurodiversity networking professional. Elaine's mission is to stomp out bullying. She is a passionate advocate for implementing a mandatory bullying curriculum in preschools, elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools, both nationally and globally. I am so happy to bring in Elaine to our show this evening here. So Elaine, welcome. How are you today? Oh, and actually you are muted at the moment here. So sorry. There you go. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Do you want to just give a little bit more introduction of yourself here and tell us just a little bit more about you?
Okay. Well, I am an educator, and I've been working in early intervention preschool services for probably about 30 years. I've been wearing many different hats right now. I'm working on an anti-bullying curriculum as well. I have 3 different books in place that I'm hoping that will be published in the next few months for ages 2 to 5, 6 to 11, and 12 to 18. And it's a whole bunch of lesson plans that would help with different challenges that children may face at those ages, and lessons that would hopefully resonate with the parents as well. I'm also on the board of a non-for-profit, which I forgot to mention earlier when we were speaking beforehand. I am the secretary of Layla's Gift, which is a non-for-profit. They are having milestone parties and birthday parties for children 3 to 21. For children with disabilities and severe medical needs, and that's something that I've just recently joined. I just wanted to share that, but and then I have my day job, which is working with the little ones in early intervention and preschool. So that's that. And then, like I said, I have my daughter who's 15, and I was able to secure an alternative high school placement for her. Actually, just really this past May. It took a while. I had to secure an IEP for her, which took a little bit longer than expected, but luckily I'm in the field, and it was definitely beneficial to know what I needed to do to secure that for her. And she's thriving. She's working at a camp over the summer with little ones, like 2, 3, 4-year-old little boys, and she's thriving there now. So I just want to say that I'm just very proud of her. She's come very far in her journey, and and it was tough because she had also was bullied. I feel for her because, like, when I was growing up, I was also bullied. So I know firsthand how it affects you, and I still remember the stories. I can still share the stories of when I was bullied. 40 something years ago. So
that stuff sticks with you.
It does. It sticks with you forever. It does. So I just that's who I am, and that's what I'm about. And hopefully, if anyone has anything to add or share or questions, I'm here to abide.
Awesome. So happy to have you here. And I know we do have some other friends joining us this evening, so I want to bring everybody in. As you guys come in, just do a quick introduction of yourself, and then we can open up the conversation to all of us here. So first, I would like to bring in Alan Holmes. He is a wonderful friend of the show and just a great all-around guy. Love having you here, Alan. So if you could just remind everybody who you are, what you do.
Well, thank you so much, Sue, for having me on the Disability Channel. Elaine, nice to see you again. I love to hear the story from the beginning because community is the essence of business. I'm the master connector for building it. I specialize in connecting with is business owners, entrepreneurs, or the everyday consumers, like the parents and the wonderful schools that should be listening to Elaine, which she'll tell you a little bit about. But that's what I love doing. And just thank you for having me. And Elaine, I applaud you and thank you from the bottom of my heart for being who you are, the beacon of light for children, or they say the children of the world. People know me as a big unk. I call in anytime I say they don't have any children, but I've been probably in the children world from taking kids' pictures to working at the place with the mouse and taking kids' pictures. So I know that the children are the most precious thing in the world. When they are bullied, it sets them out into a different space in a whole. When my wife has a social anxiety and PTSD and ADHD, so that I can feel that. But I thank you for having me because this is a great community. And Sue, thank you for putting together the great panel. We have some other guests waiting in the wings, so thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alan. Next, I want to bring in Miss Debbie Miller. I'm so glad to have you joining us as well. She is a longtime friend and is always a wealth of information along the way here. So Debbie, come on in and join us and say hi.
Thank you for having me, Sue. It's great to meet Elaine and to hear of her mission and her heart, and definitely a big need. I'm with Prepaid Legal Services Inc. here in the United States and most of Canada, so we're here to help any way we can with the disability. It's in the family and with bullying especially. We are able to help in many cases, and so I just want to be here to support and encourage and learn a lot of other things as well. Thank you for having me, Sue and Elaine.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Debbie. Next, I want to make sure to give Christian a moment to come on in and say hello as well. Christian, so glad you're here. Welcome.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much again for having me. Thank you, Sue, Elaine, Debbie, Alan. Always nice to see you. And definitely Kurt in the back. Emily, thank you so much for supporting and continuing to be the master behind the master connector there and getting us live. And I definitely am, as I shared and I always share, is I love helping folks in their mission and their vision. Just make it clear and simple so that even somebody like me can follow you and support you. We offer easy marketing for all, obviously a full service marketing business agency. But again, we're here to help out our bloodline of this wonderful country and the world is our solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and small businesses. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm here.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here, Christian. We appreciate you. And last but not least, I want to make sure to bring Kurt on in to say hello and introduce yourself. I know you. Let everybody else know you. Join us.
Well, I just want to connect in here celebrating that Elaine and I were able to meet each other through a great group called helpapedia.org, and all of us at Helpapedia celebrate enormously the work that Elaine is doing and everything that she's doing on her track and her quest. And what we all need to take ownership to is our own quest and our own action, and to play a role in really helping the world heal in this way. Just last week, I was sharing with the group that I too succumbed to taking on bullying activity against my peers, against other classmates. And so I am not immune from the topic of bullying. And it just really strikes me how pervasive this element is across all parts of our life. It's not even void in faith spaces. There is something in faith spaces called shaming. Shaming in faith spaces. Isn't that amazing? And then in, nonprofit space, you kind of have that territorialism and things that nonprofit management is doing to ward off, other missions rather than making it co-opetition or cooperative, work. So every aspect, in educational space, there's this element of educators, feeling that they dominate, the draw of students and people to participate in what's being educated on. Let's look at in government and politics. There's this term in politics, mudslinging. We have one of our candidates. I don't think anybody should be afraid to say that one of the candidates for U.S. president is the king of mudslinging, king of bullying in politics. There should be something where we just out, these type of things and get it out there for what it is, the elephant in the room. And in, hobbies, pastime, leisure activities, travel. Sue and I participate in water skiing. And to look at, we're just at the world's largest water skiing tournament, and to look at the lack of diversity in some of these spaces of what the world has to offer, and the opportunity to more intermingle, commingle, and to allow what the world is meant to be, as was celebrated in the U.S. in decades of past, the century past, that the United States of America has been in history marked as a melting pot. But really we're at a day in time where Walt Disney got us to the point where it's a small world after all. And so that's the opportunity I want to celebrate here at the TDC Today Show, is our opportunity to really celebrate what is happening in history. July 26th every year, in 2024, the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. I just came from, before producing the show, I came from the Open Mind program. And I shared this with them too. Most people don't know that it took Californians, way to go, Alan, it took Californians traveling all the way across coast to coast to our nation's capital to rally the other 49 states to say, you know what, America, we are going to challenge our legislators to say, Americans with disabilities are going to be suppressed no more. We're not going to play these bullying games with the power of being at the nation's capital and to suppress and oppress American disabilities. And we know the history now that George H.W. Bush actually took it on as part of his political acumen to take a look at with legislators to say, are you really going to send people off in the war to fight for our country come back and not be able to get into your buildings. So again, Friday, July 26, 2024 is in the history books as the 34th anniversary of the American Disabilities Act. And for sure, it's representing a lot of healing going on in the realm of bullying. Thanks, Elaine, for all you do. Back to you, Sue.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for all being here. So Elaine, I want to bring this conversation back to you and what it is that you all do surrounding this topic of bullying. So I know you do a lot with the younger kids. So tell me a little bit about what it's like working with the younger kids here and how you approach the topic of bullying. What is a successful way to engage with them?
A lot of it, thank you for asking. A lot of it is modeling the behaviors and showing them, when they're interacting with another peer, guiding them through the play. It's my turn, now it's your turn. We need to wait, and it's okay. And sharing is caring, and I love to let them know that it's a good thing to share, and we're all, and we should all be friends. And it's important, to really guide them and have them feel like it's a good thing that they're doing, and they shouldn't. They're going to be upset because it's hard to share at this age, but really, they should see it as a really good thing because they're being a really good friend to their friends. And I really try and encourage that as much as I can when I'm working with the younger ones like that. That it's a lot of modeling, a lot of role modeling for them, and taking turns. And if there's an issue, just kind of guiding them through it and helping them to realize that it's okay. Sometimes it's just taking a couple deep breaths or counting to 10 that will help them to kind of come back down, because sometimes they have a meltdown over just having to share, and it shouldn't be as big a deal as it is, but it is. And because to them it's like everything right now. They want that toy, and it's hard to let go. And so it's a lot of role modeling, a lot of play model, just the level of play modeling and stuff like that.
So, and as the students get older and you're talking with older kids, then how does that dialogue change? Do you still do a lot of role play kinds of things as you're talking with older students, or what's been a successful approach as you're looking at as you're getting into like the junior high age? And then I'm sure high school would be a whole nother animal. But what other kinds of strategies do you have then with the older kids?
I mean, with the older kids, I mean, some of it is one. Some of it is role playing together, like having scenarios, where they're older and they can actually say, well, you're going to be the one that's being bullied, and you're going to be the bully, and show them what it looks like, and really get them to see, wow, like, I can do something about that. Like, I don't have to be a bystander. I can be an upstander. I can say something, and not be afraid, that the bully is going to retaliate or something like that. So there is still role playing involved, but it's more on a, it's more on an intellectual level where they can really see what it looks like and feel it and own it. And it's a lot of role playing with this. It really, really is. And there's so much to it though, because it's almost like they're like in a class. I mean, and that's what it is with the curriculum. They're really learning to take ownership of their responses and their behavior, and learning how to cope with different things, whether it's being the bully and not getting what you want, and having to, put something on someone else because you don't want to have the ownership, or the child, or an older child being bullied, where they need to know that it's not their fault and that it's, something is going on with the bully. There's always a reason. And what I've learned through schooling is there's always a reason for behavior. And if a bully is being a bully, there's a reason behind it. And I just feel like there's more to being a bully than people even realize. And the ones that are being bullied, unfortunately, are in that victim role, but they need to somehow know that it's not their fault. And so it's a lot of back and forth. It's a lot of role playing. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of open communication. Like I said before, and it's just very important though that even with parents, getting parents involved and the school districts, and really that's why I've been creating this curriculum, because I feel so passionate about doing something to really help, whether it's being the bully or the bullied. There has to be a way to break this cycle somehow, and have them realize that what they're doing, as a bully is they don't sometimes they don't they don't even realize that they're being a bully. Sometimes they don't. It's amazing to see. Like, I didn't realize that, but that's why the role playing is so important, because then you can really see oh, I said that. Maybe I was being a bully. Like, and it sometimes it just kind of sticks with them. So it's just a lot of role playing, whether they're little or they're bigger. I hope I didn't, go on.
That makes total sense.
I hope it's.
Excellent. And actually, I'm gonna pass it back to Kurt. Kurt, you had a question?
Yeah, Alan, I want to bring you in on this. You're kind of our world of wrestling, resident enthusiast here. And, let's just examine culture here, the influence on children, that when you have, world-class wrestlers coming in, and part of the entertainment that we feed off of is that smack talk, right? The wrestler goes, I'm going to get, Alan, speak to that a little bit. That's feeding the appetite for bullying with our children. What do you think, Alan?
Well, it's amazing you said that. The wrestling, anybody knows me, I am a wrestling fanatic, and a lot of them, a lot of the children are actually in the audience. However, there are one particular one. Anybody knows, I won't be saying it too much off of paying royalties, but he does this, and the children actually enthusiasm, because when he talks to them and say, look, it's not okay to put your hands on somebody smaller than you. There's entertainment, and then there's real life. I grew up in the community of a foster family. So that's probably where I got the idea of wrestling, because I felt like I was a referee between myself and 7 other brothers. And it got bad so one time that my foster sister was taken away by CPS. It caused my then foster brother to climb the top of the highest electrical pole, and he was gonna just basically leave this world. However, the person who I am, I was even more, believe me, unfiltered by then, as I actually climbed up there with him, and I said, now look, you are up here, I'm up here, we're two, can't even see the rest of the world. We have to get down, because Mama said we have to be in by 6 o'clock. We cannot be up here, and by the time I got through blah, 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 he forgot why he was up there, and we just sashayed our way right on up to it. But to bring Kurt's point, wrestling is something that is really entertaining, but sometimes the little ones will take on the big ones, and the big ones take on the little ones, and then they take it too far. And your curriculum, Elaine, is perfect, because parents have to understand that with everything that's going on offline, sideline, with all these technologies. I grew up in the 70s where they had this thing called, yes, I'll say it, a rotary phone, and yes, the phone booth and all this. And now if you say that to the young ones, they're like, huh? What? What's a phone booth? What's an encyclopedia? Then we got to go explain. See, this is how I got past all the bullying and non-bullying. And yes, I actually had a bully, but in great spirits, I turned my bully into my ally because I found out he couldn't read. And so we just, we worked something out, and I'm still here today. But, you know, in today's 2024, it becomes such a integral part in the parents working with the administrators and the teachers and the parents, because things start as issues and then they turn into problems and catastrophes, and then you have damage control. And by the end, it's all over the place. So, ladies and gentlemen, learn from Elaine, get the curriculum, and back to you, Sue, in the world of Allen Home. Thank you for allowing me to blah, blah, blah. And Big Unc's watching for you. No, good.
Awesome. I love what you said there. Because, yeah, there are so many different things out there that show us what I want to maybe say bad habits or bad influences that taken out of context. Because you're right. It's an entertainment thing that as you're looking at the wrestling and not, it's not necessarily follow this as a life skill to be pushing other people around. You need to be able to have somebody in your sphere, a friend, a parent, somebody who can help guide you along the way and actually help you interpret what's going on around you. Not that you're taking that as this is the way life is. We all have to help each other out, and sometimes it's easy, sometimes that's really hard. Sometimes those hard conversations need to happen, and I even think about times when I've heard stories from our daughter as well about things going on with friends at school, and we've had that conversation of you don't know what their family life is like. You don't know what it's like at home for them. You know what your little world is. We all know our personal space real well, but we don't know what they've got going on. So give them a little slack, give them some grace along the way, and help them out. Kindness goes a long ways with people. If you're not being kind, what are you doing? So I know we're coming up at the end here. I want to just give you guys the biggest heartfelt hugs and shout outs that you guys are the best. I'm so grateful that each of you being here. Alan, Debbie, Christian, Elaine, it's been so nice getting to know you and hearing more about some pieces that can help all of us and bringing that forward. So Elaine, I just want to give it back to you for a moment for if you have any last thoughts you want to share.
I just really feel that there is a lot to be said about what's been going on, within the schools and stuff. And if there's anything that we can do is to, as a team, I mean, we can't do it alone. It can't be just one person. And, the more that we collaborate, I think the better, things can be. And that's just my feeling. It takes a village, and I believe that, but we have to support each other. We have to be kind. Like you said, we definitely have to be kind and compassionate. So back to you, Sue.
Thank you so much, Elaine. This has been a real pleasure. So for all of us here with the TDC Today Show, we thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Recording
guys.
stopped.